Hi, Casey Lund at Warrensburg Collision, and we're here with Ryan Seaver, one of our technicians, and we're going to go through Ryan's toolbox. So Ryan's taken months to get his toolbox dialed into the way it is, and rather than doing a video every day for a 2-second improvement that we went through, we're going to just do one large recap of everything that he's done to this point. So let's go through and have you tell us about what you've done, and also maybe a little bit of the why, the things you struggled with along the way. So let's dive in and tell us about what we've got.
Alright guys, so first of all, I started with the Kaizen foam. Everything is in Kaizen foam, and that helps me so when I move my box around, my tools don't shift. Everything has its place, so I always know where it is. Also, if anything's missing, I instantly know because there is a shadow missing of where that tool is. So I know exactly which car I probably left it in. Okay, so here's my vertical application of Kaizen foam. I cut all these tools in really tight so they don't fall down when I'm moving my box around. But in doing that, they were a little hard to get out of here. So what I did is I burned these finger holes in here, and it makes it easy for me to grab the tool out of here. Also, in doing that, over time, my fingernail, if it wasn't burnt there, would start to fray the foam. And now with these holes, it kind of stiffens up the foam and doesn't allow it to fray. Next on my improvement, I've labeled all my sockets. That makes it easy for me at a glance without having to squint down and read the fine number or find the fine number on here. All I have to do is find this big label that I made. While we're in here close, I've also labeled my pry bars here. So I never second guess a short one, a long one, or a medium one. I automatically know by the label on the top of the pry bar. While we're over here, I've labeled all my vice grips. I don't have every vice grip I own here. This is just what I use, point of use tools, the ones I use the most. Otherwise, they just begin to be cluttered. And they're labeled too, so I have a spot for them. I know where everyone is all the time. Same with my solvents and aerosols over here, tool oil, everything's labeled and in a spot. I have a little piece of Kaizen foam here, keeps all this from shifting around while I'm moving my toolbox around. Down here, while we're talking labels, I've labeled all my air tools down here. I've made spots in here with the Kaizen foam. I've burned these in so each tool has a spot, and it's also labeled with a spot. So now if I'm looking for my die grinder, I don't reach over here. I always know my die grinder is right here. Also with my setup down here with my air tools, I can now easily grab my air tool oil in the evenings and just boom, 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 oil all these tools, and takes care of the maintenance of them. Let's look through some of I keep a few sandpapers in here that I use a lot. I have a little spool here of tie wire. You know, you never know if you need to tie something out of the way. I welded a little thing in there, so I always know where my spool is. It's never just floating around in my toolbox.
And so you welded it, burned the paint, and you even went back and painted it. Okay.
Yeah. Here again with the pliers, the Kaizen foam, everything has a spot. I never question looking for anything. Drawer. And everything's got the finger pulls. And then down here again, once again, my sockets are labeled. Now, these ones are actually labeled too, but it's on top of this little post here. So over here, a lot of our sandpapers we use is a Hookit sandpaper, which is basically Velcro. So we took the other side of the Velcro, opposite of our sandpaper, and I've been putting it on my toolbox to stick my blocks to. Same thing with my interface pad. I've just been using Velcro, the opposite of the Hookit sandpaper, to keep things organized and in spot. I'm using a lot of clips for gloves, magnets to hold things, so I never lose my Scotch-Brite. Magnets for my scissors. I even, if I'm working with an air hose by my toolbox, I even stuck a little magnet to my box here so I can just stick the hose to it and I don't have to keep bending down to pick up that hose if I drop it. So over here, the way we take cars apart here, we bag and label everything. So, you know, it'd be right headlight, left headlight, you know, grill, for example. So as I'm taking the car apart, I put the bolts in here, and then I get my bags, I write on them, and I put them in the bags. It's easier for me to build a kit to reassemble the car. Same thing when I go to put the car back together. I pull my bags out, and I just set the bags in the thing. And as I need them, I just dump that bag out as I'm building the vehicle. Over here on the side, I made a little paper towel holder. I cut the towels in half. That way, if my hand's dirty in this hand, I'm trying to wipe something off, I can grab it out with one, not pull the whole roll out all folded in half, and wipe it off. Another thing is I put this trash can right here. I found myself always walking from wherever my toolbox was to wherever the closest trash can was. I was wasting a lot of time doing that. So now with my trash can, it's right there on my box. Whenever it gets full, I can just take this off and go empty it once or twice a day. Right here. So it's, you know, definitely hot out now in the summertime. I'm trying to drink a lot of water. So I made this little bracket here on the side of my toolbox to have a place to set my water bottle. You know, I'm not trying to set it on top of my tools or whatever. I now actually have a designated spot for my water bottle. Here around the back side of my toolbox, I have the Kaizen foam organizing my sanding blocks. Just keeps everything where I can blow it off real nice. I know where that block is all the time and can keep things clean and organized. And, you know, I got a few things hanging here, slide hammer, suction cup. But most importantly, this box is not cluttered up with stuff that I don't use. It only has stuff that I use. And I know where it is and it's organized.
So this is not your real toolbox. This is not your big toolbox.
No.
So your big toolbox is over there against the wall, the red box.
Toolbox over there against the wall. But with this box, I can take right up to the car, you know, right next to me. So I would never have to turn more than a few feet, and everything I need is here. You know, 99% of it.
Okay.
One other little quick improvement I just realized I hadn't showed you yet is it's kind of silly, but you know, sometimes my box might be on an angle, and I got these locking casters down here, and then I'd always be messing with which ones lock and go. So now I marked them so it's easy for me to know when I'm locked down and when I'm good to go.
Very cool. So this is many 2-second improvements every day, getting it dialed in relentlessly, a little bit at a time. A label here, some Velcro there, Kaizen foam, but always thinking, how can I do it faster? How can I get it better? And how can we make life easier?
Exactly.
So awesome job, Ryan. Great. Ryan's Box, everybody.